Of course she got the house. She's not a waiter, Mom said, handing Emma the keys like it was a ribbon-wrapped gift. I didn't flinch, just said, clear and even, then let her cover the $72,000 I spent saving it. That was the night I stopped paying property taxes. They'd get the letter on Monday. Mom didn't even look at me, her arm stayed outstretched, keys dangling like bait. You've always been the helper, she said, not the owner. The metal clinked in Emma's hand, sharp and final. She smirked, like she'd earned it. Like the 6 years I spent working doubles in a café, pouring everything into that house, hadn't happened. Mom's voice turned theatrical. She's not a waiter, she repeated louder, like someone in the back hadn't heard her cue. It wasn't just a key, it was my burial receipt. I stood there in my coffee-stained apron, still warm from the overnight shift, hands smelling like milk and bleach, legs aching, mouth dry. And still, I said it, calm, surgical. Then let her pay the $72,000 I used to save it. Emma's smile slipped. Dad's newspaper twitched. Silence, for once. I walked to the door, dropped the spare key on the shoe rack, metal against tile, like a bullet hitting the floor. I stopped covering taxes. I added, quiet, clear, they'll find out Monday. No reply, not from Mom, not from Emma, and certainly not from Dad, who spent the last year congratulating me for being the hustler. As if hustle was just another word for human sacrifice. I stepped outside, the cold slapped me in the face. It felt good, realer than anything inside. The truth? I didn't plan to say any of it. I'd practiced versions of that line in my head for months, always swallowed it. Until she handed over those keys like it was the natural order of things. Like betrayal was tradition. And something in me, finally, quietly, snapped. Like the sound of a final receipt printing. Done. They didn't know how deep I'd gone, how long I'd been preparing. They would, Monday. For 6 years, I paid for a house I didn't live in. It started with a leaking roof, then the heater, then tax notices. Each time, Mom called it a small favor. And each time, I wired the money. $72,000. Not including groceries. Not including Emma's credit card debt I cleared in silence. They called it help. I called it servitude. I'm a waiter, nights, weekends, holidays. And in between, I hustle, photography gigs, dog sitting, editing, anything. No breaks, no buffer, no life. Every extra dollar went into their future. Because Mom said, we're building something. Because Dad said, a real man takes care of his family. Because Emma said, must be nice to have no real responsibilities. And I bought it. What I didn't know, what I couldn't let myself believe, was that cutting me out wasn't new. It was planned. It leaked out in small moments. Mom referring to the house as Emma's when friends came over. Dad saying, once Emma settles in, she can start her own family here. Like I was a footnote. But the dam cracked with a Facebook post. A photo, Mom, Emma, and my aunt standing in front of my financial grave, holding a sold sign. Caption, a new chapter for our girl, so proud of Emma's first step into independence. Independence? That house was in foreclosure when I stepped in. Dad had torched the savings on his consulting phase, taxes were piling up. No tag, no mention, not even a passing thanks. I was the ghost who paid the bills. Then came the voice note from Emma. I still have it. Look, I'm sorry you feel like you contributed so much, but you weren't building anything, you were just keeping things alive. That's not the same. I'm the one with the vision, you're just support. I laughed, not because it was funny, because it was honest. They finally said it out loud. I was the mule, the wallet with legs. But the real bomb came later. I found a flash drive while cleaning, one Emma had begged me to back up years ago. Forgotten, until I plugged it in. Folders named like case files, Mark, Timo, Dad, taxes, me. I opened me. Inside, screenshots, edited texts, voice memos. Fake messages of me calling her abusive. Doctored email threads where I demanded money with threats. Photoshop-level precision. A portfolio of sabotage. Indexed, date-stamped. She'd been crafting a version of me I didn't recognize, preparing for this. Then I opened taxes. And my stomach turned. Inside, PDFs, forged tax documents. 2 with my name listed as a contributor to a business that didn't exist. 1 had my national ID. I never signed them, never saw them. Dad's name was there too, but the signature? Scanned, pasted. It wasn't just betrayal. It was fraud. The next morning, I called a lawyer, someone I used to serve coffee to every Tuesday. I sent the files. She called back in 2 hours. "This is fraud," she said, "and if your name is on anything official, and you didn't consent, they're looking at criminal exposure." Exposure. I liked that word. I texted the family group chat. "Starting Monday, the house expenses are no longer my responsibility. If Emma owns it, she owns the taxes too. Best of luck." Silence. Until Dad called at 2 a.m., drunk, slurring. "You ungrateful bastard, you think you're better than us? You think this is your money? You owe us for your childhood." And that's when it all clicked. They believed that. That I owed them for being born. That everything I gave was just balancing a cosmic debt. So I decided to collect mine. I dug emails, old chats, bank records. I built a timeline, a pattern, a case. And then I found something unexpected. Emma's real job history. Turns out, she wasn't unemployed in 2020. She was freelancing as a crypto consultant when her client got charged with laundering. That's when her accounts got flagged. And guess whose name she used to open the test wallet? Mine. The same week, she posted a photo with the caption, "New chapter, new keys, same roots, thanks to everyone who believed in me." Believed in her? I bankrolled her. I sheltered her. I handed her the very house she struts through like God deeded it to her personally. They wanted silence. They're getting fire. Emma called it a small gathering to bless the new chapter. It was a Saturday. The invitation came through the family group chat, the same chat where no one even replied when I said I wouldn't be paying the property taxes anymore. But they still wanted me there. Isn't that funny? I said yes, but I didn't bring wine. I brought a laptop, a Bluetooth speaker, and a flash drive. They weren't ready. The house looked like a Pinterest wedding: white balloons, gold streamers, an artisanal charcuterie board that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Mom floated through the yard handing out Prosecco like she hadn't committed a felony. Dad was by the grill, playing patriarch, and Emma wore white like it was her coronation. I showed up late, on purpose, heads turned, whispers stirred. Didn't think he'd show, exactly. Emma came toward me, sugar-coated and smug. "Oh my God, you came. I thought you were still upset about the tax mix-up." Mix-up, that's what she called it. I hugged her, leaned in close. "You'll want to sit down for this." Then I walked past her, straight to the garden table, where smooth jazz hummed over the Bluetooth speaker. I disconnected it and paired my phone. The music cut. The room, or yard, shifted. I opened the laptop, plugged in the flash drive. "Before we eat," I said loudly, "I've got a little housewarming gift, something to commemorate this blessed new beginning." Emma froze. Mom dropped a plate. Dad stopped chewing. "This," I said, "is what $72,000 in blind loyalty looks like." And I hit play. The audio started soft, clicks, static, my voice on a voicemail. "Hey just checking if you got the transfer. Hope it helps. I know it's been hard." Then Emma's voice, stitched from 2 separate clips, but seamless. "You're useless. You only help because you feel guilty. Don't pretend like you matter." Gasps. I let it hang in the air, then I hit pause. Fabricated, spliced, she made these. I found dozens, audio files, fake emails, screenshots, all tucked neatly in a folder labeled insurance. Silence. Someone's fork clinked against their plate. I opened the next file, a tax return, PDF. This was filed last year under a family LLC, using my national ID. I never signed it. I walked over and dropped the printed copy into Dad's lap. Forgery, fraud, both federal crimes. A lawyer has the originals. The investigation opens Monday. Murmurs, shifting chairs, Aunt murmuring something about needing air. Emma stepped forward, pale and shaking. "You're ruining my day," she said through her teeth. "No," I said, "you ruined it when you built your independence on my name." Then I turned to the crowd, cousins, aunts, family friends, people who used to clap when I told jokes, back before I became invisible. "If you're wondering why this is happening here, ask why they never told you I paid for this house. Ask why they erased me from the story." Then I looked at Mom. "Who wrote the caption? She bought it on her own." She didn't blink. "But someone else did." From the edge of the yard, a man stepped forward, mid-30s, sharp jacket, sunglasses hooked to his collar. "I did," he said. "Emma's ex, Alex, the one she said cheated on her. I didn't. I left when I realized she forged everything, including her brother's ID." Emma went pale, then red, then pale again. "You don't know what you're talking about," she snapped. "I helped her print the files," he said, "thought they were legit. They weren't." More gasps. A cousin stood up. "Then Alex delivered the kill shot. She told me she kept them in case he ever got annoying, said she could ruin him with one email." I turned to her. "Do it," I said. "Send it. Let's see who burns first." She didn't move, couldn't. My dad stood, rage bubbling. "You've embarrassed this family enough." I stepped in close, quiet, cold. "You used my name, my money, my life. I didn't embarrass you, I exposed you." Then I pulled out a sealed envelope. A letter from the Ministry of Finance. They received my affidavit. Every single document filed using my name is being reviewed: the house, the LLC, the deductions. I handed it to my mother. "You said Emma deserved the house because I'm just a waiter. Fine, she can pay the $72,000 now, or answer to the IRS." Wind stirred, a drink toppled, no one moved. "I'm done," I said. I gave everything, and became invisible. Emma cried, but no one reached for her. Because they finally saw what I saw. This family only loves what it can use. I left the speaker on the table. Track 2 started as I walked away. Her voice, clear, cold, desperate. "Use this. If he ever finds out, I'll say he hit me. They'll believe me. I'm the one they trust." I didn't look back, but they heard it. Monday morning, the ministry confirmed receipt. An investigator was assigned. The files were being dissected. Fraud, forgery, tax abuse. Emma had saved it all, neatly labeled, with her name on every file. That party? It wasn't a celebration. It was an autopsy. And I handed the scalpel to the crowd. By noon, the fallout hit. Dad posted a 3-paragraph rant on Facebook, 0 punctuation, 3 likes, one from a cousin who probably thought it was about politics. Emma nuked her online life. Instagram, gone. LinkedIn, vanished. No more grateful selfies in front of the door I paid to keep from foreclosure. That silence? That was the sound of a flipped script. But I wasn't finished. That night, I uploaded the voice memo. "I swear to God, if he ever finds out, I'll say he hit me. They'll believe me. I'm the one they trust." No commentary, just a caption. "She said this about me. I stayed silent for years. I'm not silent anymore." And then? The internet lit up. 300,000 plays in 24 hours, TikToks, stitches, threads, a live stream with a lawyer breaking down the audio's authenticity. Strangers flooded my inbox. "I lived this, thank you." Offers of legal aid, journalists reaching out. A local podcast called the next day. "We want to tell your story." We recorded that afternoon. I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I just told the truth. About what it means to give until you disappear. About how family sometimes uses blood like a weapon. There was a time I almost believed them, that my worth began and ended with my usefulness. I ended the episode with this: they replaced me with my own money. So, I replaced them with peace. I didn't expect it to take off. But within hours, the episode went viral. Turns out, people were more than ready to hear the truth. Emma wasn't. She sent a 3-page email titled, "Please read before you destroy me completely." It opened with, "I was hurting. I didn't know how to ask for help. I never meant for it to go this far." Then came the ask, that I clarify publicly she never physically hurt me, that her voice memo was taken out of context. I didn't answer. The next day, a voice note: "You don't understand what's happening. My job might drop me. They're talking about pressing charges." I saved it. Still didn't respond. Instead, I made one final post, a photo of my new apartment, clean walls, bright windows, one armchair, one coffee table. Captioned, "This is what peace looks like." No keys missing. No names on my paycheck but mine. 3 days later, it happened. A notice from the ministry. Dad's tax ID flagged. Investigation opened. Every claim tied to the family LLC? Frozen. 2 years of returns, under review. His accountant was contacted. Everything halted. I didn't feel victorious. I felt free. That night, he called. Left a voicemail. You made your point. Congratulations. Are you happy now? The same line my mother once used. As if peace was a weapon. As if self-preservation was a betrayal. I blocked his number. That weekend, I launched my site. Not a blog, a project. Dentless. A digital archive for people who walked away from toxic families after years of financial abuse. A place for truth. For stories. Anonymous or loud. With screenshots. With receipts. With voice notes and hard drives if needed. Within a week, it had 20,000 submissions. People were starved to be believed. And I believed them. A journalist reached out days later. Said my story had sparked something. A movement. And Emma? When she finally resurfaced online, she posted a picture, sunglasses, coffee in hand, street corner. Captioned, "People will always find a way to make you the villain in their healing story." I didn't screenshot it. Didn't respond. Because I wasn't healing anymore. I was living. 3 months have passed since I walked away. 3 months since the word family stopped feeling like a chokehold. But they haven't stopped trying. Letters from my mother, long, erratic. One called me emotionally unstable. The next said she forgave me, like she was the one wronged. Like forgiveness was hers to give. Dad tried going public. Posted a Facebook video, standing in front of the house. This was built on legacy, he said. Now my son wants to tear it down. He tagged me. I didn't react. Because I don't owe him a reaction. 2 weeks ago, I got a call from a blocked number. It was my aunt, the one who laughed in the family chat when Dad posted the video of me fixing his car for free. She told me Emma had to sell the house. Said the taxes were too high. Mumbled, they didn't realize how much you'd been covering. Didn't realize, or refused to admit it. She asked if I'd talk things over. Said, this has gone far enough. I told her, it hasn't even started. I'm done playing humble. Done letting people rewrite the story while I'm still holding the original manuscript. So, I did something they never saw coming. I bought a storefront. Small. Downtown. Sunlit windows. Hung a metal sign above it. Blood bond, repair. Reclaim. Rebuild. It's not a business. It's a statement. I don't fix cars anymore. I help people fix themselves. Legal referrals. Financial guidance. Trauma navigation. For the kids like me. The adults like me. The ones who gave until they were bones, then were called ungrateful for daring to break. Emma drove past the shop last week. She didn't come in. But she saw the sign. A few days later, someone spray-painted the window. Red. One word, traitor. I left it there for a week. Then I posted a photo. Captioned. If telling the truth makes me a traitor, maybe you were never the country I thought I was protecting. Over 100,000 likes in 2 hours. DMs poured in. A woman from Berlin said she played Emma's audio for her therapist. A man from Brazil sent a photo of his front door, blood bond carved into the wood. It's not about revenge anymore. It's about reclamation. Telling people, you're not crazy. You were gaslit. And now the lights are back on. I changed my number. New phone. New address. No more birthday reminders from people who never called when I was sick. No more group chats. No more begging to be seen. Emma doesn't call anymore. Not because she gave up. Because she finally got it. No access without respect. The day the house went up for auction, I drove by. Not to gloat. To say goodbye. I parked across the street and watched a stranger walk up with a realtor, pointing to the roof I paid for. They smiled. Nodded. They'll never know whose hands held that place together. Good. They don't need to. That house isn't mine anymore. And neither are they. Before I left, I dropped something in the mailbox. No return address. Just a folded copy of the final transfer of ownership. On the back, in Sharpie, I'm not the villain in your story. I'm the one who left before it turned me into one. Then I drove to my shop. Unlocked the door. Flipped the sign to open. Sat beneath the banner on the back wall. Not family funded. I sipped my coffee. leaned back, and smiled. They can paint me as the villain all they want. But I'm not angry anymore. I'm free.